Na guroradhikam, na guroradhikam, na guroradhikam. Guru kripa hi kevalam, Guru kripa hi kevalam, Guru kripa hi kevalam. Today we will try to focus our discussion on breaths, or the magic of breath. The other day I was talking to you from a book which I wrote long back, but it was more to do with a very little book titled as Shuddhaanandaa, the pure bliss that one attains through meditation. And today we have the English version of the same book, or rather little different. These are basically the culled nuggets of wisdom that comes to me from the ascended masters and the higher world when I am in a state of meditation in the mornings. Usually it has been my practice to, go into a deeper state of meditation, and then when I'm out of it, then just to, kind of sit for a few seconds to just write down whatever my feelings are. These are the musings. Now, this is the English version, the little book of meditation. Okay, this is the little book of meditation. This too has been published in the year 2001. And so today I will possibly read to you a couple of the pages, the beginning pages, which basically focuses on our attention, which can be developed over a period of time by taking advantage of one of the basic tools, basic props, something which the mind can hold on to, and something which mind is deeply influenced due to the higher vibratory field that it reaches through holding on to that, which itself is the very vehicle on which the mind moves. I have told you many times that mind on its own cannot move. It is the prana. It is the breath. Breath is sthula. It is gross manifestation of something which is the most subtlest in this cosmic world, and that is prana shakti, the prana, which is also called as chi or ki. So I will just kind of read a couple of these words that are in this particular book, and then possibly dwell on that. And when I go on, it will be more meditative, because it begins with the breath but takes us to a deeper level of inner quiet, that inner space inside of us where we can touch the chords of tranquility and peace in a state of harmonic vibrations. Here I go. To the seeker of truth, to the seeker of truth, breath becomes the simplest place to begin the inner journey. I'll take each word of this because you know very well that I always try to feel the words. I always try to go deep into the vibrations of the words. I always try to see what is hidden in each words, because every word comes with its potentiality, and it starts to open up and give us more and more, provided we put our attention to each of these words The words are more like seeds. They have so much, but hardly can we see it from the surface. So like I can just give an example. To the seeker of truth, there are two words which are very important here. One, the seeker. Two, the truth. Now, the word seeker basically denotes one who is seeking. Now the question is, what one is seeking? The moment you are trying to talk about a seeker is one who is in a state of continuous seeking. Now if you try to come to yourself, or if you see the people all around you, you'll find that every one of us are continuously doing something or the other. We are restlessly looking forward to something or the other. Thus, every human on this planet are essentially seekers and searchers. They are seeking and searching. Their seeking and searching, it also denotes, it also possibly gives us a scope to think. We seek, we search only when we are missing something. Don't you think so? It's only when we are missing something, then we seek for it. When we are searching, that means it automatically gives us a feeling that, okay, we are searching for that which we are not finding. So, Bodhi too, seeking and searching, which, as I said, we humans are all seekers and searchers, irrespective of nationality, irrespective of any traditions, irrespective of any belief systems, irrespective of any religious affinity. It's irrespective of everything. Humans of all colors and climes, humans of every tradition possible in this world, every sect, everyone is a seeker, everyone is a searcher. But what are we seeking everywhere? What are we searching everywhere? Basically, we are seeking and searching for pleasures. We are all seekers and searchers of maybe more knowledge. But again, knowledge for what? For power. The more knowledge we have, the more power we have. But then, the knowledge and power is not everything. What we are trying to seek deeper is, through knowledge, through power, we are trying to seek more of control. We are trying to seek maybe more of happiness at the end of the day. So whatever may be the activity that any one of us do in this world, from morning till night till we are deep into sleep, even in your dreams also, you are subconsciously there too. In your subtle body, you are seeking and searching. You manifest many things at that time which normally you cannot do during the waking hours of the day. So here is a beautiful thing, that to the seeker of truth, that means what I am trying to mean by this is, those who have seen the fragility, the transient nature of this cosmic manifestation of this physical world, where everything is in a continuous flux of change. Nothing stays as it is. It's all continuously changing. That's the reason one of the definitions of this world is that which is in a continuous flux of change. Whatever is changing is a part and parcel of this world. It is the unchangeable. It is the unchangeable. That is what is the ultimate truth. That which is changeable cannot be the truth, because that which is changeable, that which continuously changes moment to moment, you can't call that as truth, because it can't be the reality. It's more the unreality. So this truth has to finally be something of absolute reality. Then it is absolute truth. Truth, again, according to our Indian tradition of Upanishads and Vedas, Vedanta basically talks about non-dual. That means that is one that is non-dual. There is no duality in it. Not two. Non-dual means not two. If it is not two, then what it is? You have to realize that if I say one, maybe you may say something else. But when we say not two, it is one, not two. That not two leads us to that one absolute reality, and that is the truth. So the seeker of truth, those who have already completed the phase of seeking in a transient world, in a changing world, pleasures and happiness, if they have, through that continuous search in the materialistic plane of consciousness, in the matter world, those who have always struggled in order to satisfy the urges of their senses, and through all the sense perceptors, if they have sought after different things of life by which they can satisfy their inner urge, inner desire, inner demands, when they go through all of it, then finally, in one birth, he or she comes to one simple realization, and that is, no blessing is pure. Everything is a mixed blessing. No pleasure is truly a pleasure, because every pleasure has a price, and its price is pain and suffering. No, it's only when you run after pleasure and go and go and go and enjoy pleasure, then one day you come to realize that the pleasure is not a blessing only, it also comes with lots of price. It's like the rose which does not come as rose alone, because its entire stalk is with so big thorns. Every pleasure is like that rose, but with lots of thorns. So for a life of a seeker in a materialistic world of pleasures, invariably land up to pains and suffering and agony, stress and anxieties. So as they go through this process of physical, mental, emotional challenges and suffering, then in some birth a soul comes to just take a pause, stops, assesses all the experience of all the past, comes face to face, and then question, what is the purpose of my being born in this world? Why am I born as a human? Why not as any other species of life? And obviously, if I am born as a human, and if I have gone through all these pleasure, pain cycles of my seekings in the materialistic world of manifestations and continuous change, then if I stop to ponder, then I find that fundamental question, why I am born as a human in this physical planet. So once that question, more as a quest, comes, what's the purpose of my human birth? Am I here only to run after pleasure and then stumble and then fall into traps and feel all these mixed states of mind and emotions? Then finally you come to a place where you say, okay, enough is enough. Now I need to see yet another world that I have not yet explored. And that other world that you're talking about is not up there. The other world is not up there. The up there or the all around there is the objective world. That which you can see, touch, smell, feel. There is another world. And that seeker now turns eyes from outbound natural tendency to a complete turnaround to the inner self. That is called the inner journey. That is called what we call as a spiritual journey, because now you are basically retreating back into your inner state from where everything is manifested. So a true seeker of truth is one who now is ready to embark on a journey no longer only to the objective world of sense perceptions, but to inner journey, inner world of extrasensory perceptions. Perceptions which can be perceived, which is beyond your sensual powers. So you are possibly seeing with your two eyes the world of objectivity, and obviously torn by duality. This moment you are happy, next moment you are unhappy. This moment is a grand success, next moment, boom, there's a huge failure. This moment you have so much money and so much good, next moment, boom, it's just gone in one stroke. You have seen those who play in the stock markets. Now this is the dual world, where a person is continuously exposed to all kinds of vagaries, all kinds of dualisms of life, the opposites, natural. But now we are trying to focus our mind gradually, after understanding that the duality itself is the reason, cause for all our suffering. If this point is clear to you, duality is the cause of all suffering. As long as we have the duality perception and the multiplicity perceptions of this objective world, so long we cannot avoid miseries of life, period. No one on earth can avoid pains, suffering, stress, if the mind is clinging to, attached to the duality part of this absolute reality. The absolute appears to be dual, but it is not dual. It is non-dual in its absolute state. Now, as long as my mind is split between the two and many, again I'll say, as long as my mind is split between the two and many, as long as my mind can see two and many in different names and different forms, so long what's happening is I'm attracted to each one of this. This I'll call as material seeking. Mind is material, stuff objective outside of you is also material. So the material seeking, the materialistic part, again and again the materialistic vibration is hitting on the mind. So even the consciousness part of the mind is gradually getting grossed up into matter. So mind cannot perceive anything more than matter, though mind's deeper state is pure consciousness, pure energy. But it loses its power. More the mind is soaked in materialistic things of life, materialistic chaos of life, materialistic distraction and distortions of objective world, more you give your mind into all of that, you gradually lose your power to really realize the purpose of being born as a human with the infinite power of your own mind and body together. So here it is, to the seeker of truth. So we have to be very clear, the one who is ready for an inner journey. And through the inner journey, the person who is seeking the truth is one who is not relying upon two eyes and the vision two eyes and the vision is a duality, is a sight of dualism. Whatever you see with two eyes will bring to you messages about the transient, changing phenomena called the world. And it may be very heavy on your shoulders at times, as your experience will definitely narrate to you and tell you. So to the seeker of truth means the truth is that which never changes. Truth is that which was, which is, which shall be. Truth is that which we call as something that is total, the whole, the holy, the absolute. Each one of us are carrying in our heart, each one of us are carrying in our heart the seed of divinity. We are not just humans, we are God clothed in the body of humans. We are essentially spiritual beings of light, but we are just behaving as if we are bodies physical. But physical body is only the just external cluster of it, though internally, deep within, our true being is rooted in our spirituality, in our divinity, in our totality, in its absoluteness, in its godliness. So deep inside, you and I are one. You are God in its definition of totality. I am God in my definition of totality, where parts are no longer there. All the parts have merged into that oneness. That is the soul, that is the spirit, that is the truth, that is what the seekers, beginning with materialistic seekings, ultimately come to a point to start only seeking that which is non-dual. Advaita, that which is non-dual. That which is truth, that means that which is Sat. So we are seekers of Sat. Om Tat Sat, that Sat, that unchangeable one, that immutable one, that deathless, birthless phenomenon of purity, perfection of consciousness. Big words. We don't have to get into all of this, but what is important is seeker of truth must be understood in its right perspective. Seeker of truth is one who is not ready to anymore compromise with materialistic aspirations, longing, achieving, attaining, and finally getting exhausted, drained out, rusted out, stressed out. That is not a seeker of truth. That's what I am trying to mean by all these words that I have spoken to you. And I always tell you, this whole part of the materialistic seekings of life is essential, is very important, because it's only through these seekings we one day will come to realize that this is not what we came to earth for. This is not going to make us truly happy, because it does make us happy, but very temporary. And na alpe sukham asti yad vai bhuma tat sukham. Na alpe sukham asti. In this world, if you look into the lives of every human on earth, na alpe sukham asti. Nobody is happy with little happiness, part happiness. Alpa means small. Are you happy with small? If you are happy with small, then you have some small little knowledge, and that's good enough for you. Then why do you seek for more knowledge? You have little money with you, that's good enough for you. Why do you seek more money? You have some things that you have acquired in your life, that should have been enough, but you are not happy. Alpe, no, you are not happy with alpa. That means you are not happy with small. Why? Because your inner essential spiritual self is so vast, so big, so infinite that you cannot ever be happy with alpa, that is part. You are not part, you are whole, you are holy. How can you be happy to be a part? How can you be happy with just little in life, little knowledge, little everything? No, you are not. Look around. Look at the behavior of even a beggar on the street. Nalpe sukhamasti. Even the beggar has collected a lot of money, but still nalpe sukhamasti. Still asking for more and more and more. Nalpe sukhamasti. Actual happiness is not in small. The actual happiness is in my vast experience of consciousness, where I am so expanded in myself that I can embrace everything into myself. Nothing remains untouched. Everything becomes part of me, and everything becomes that I consciousness in its totality. That's what we are talking about. The seeker of truth. So the first few words, to the seeker of truth. Breath becomes the simplest place to begin the inner journey. Now, if I really want to know how to penetrate this thick, the cataract of the eyes. It's very blurry. If I want to see my inner, it's very blurry because my mind is thickly crowded with so many thoughts intertwined, and they are just all over. It's so enmeshed, and I want to go beyond this thinking mind to see what is the reality beyond the duality and multiplicity. So in order to tear apart, in order to knock the door and open the door into my inner heart, into my inner shrine. If I have to open the doors of my inner shrine of my heart, if I have to knock, and the door shall be opened, and that knock, how do I reach to knock the door? How do I reach to the inner core of my being? How do I reach to the inner state of my calm mind? How do I do that? Because as long as my mind is restless, I will not have entry to my inner world. The very core of my being is a place of absolute tranquility and thoughtlessness. The closer you go to your inner true self, the more thoughtless you become. Or rather, as you become more and more thoughtless, you feel that you are closer and closer to your real self. There is no other way. There is nothing in this world that can ever give you the faintest idea or feeling or experience of who you are in essence until such time, whatever may be the technique that you adopt in this world, whatever may be the method or path you adopt in your life, but until such time your mind is gradually brought to a state of thoughtlessness, it is very difficult to perceive what glory, what light, what joy, what bliss is hidden in the shrine of our own hearts. What is that feeling of ecstasy, of love for the divine? What is that feeling of that particular love when that love is manifested in the form of total surrender to the divinity? I mean, all of it comes to you provided you have brought your mind to a state of a calmer state. Now, the question is, we all know that any time we try to silence our mind or calm down our mind, the mind as if gets very, very disturbed. Why do you want me to be calm? Why do you want me to stop my chatter? I love to chatter. I love to talk. I love to continuously go blah, 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 blah. What do you want me to stop? Since childhood, I've always done that with you and you have always been happy with it. How come suddenly you say, my mind, be a good friend. Now just stop your chatter. I want to be quiet, calm, meditative, lost in absolute samadhi. Now the mind doesn't understand any one of this language of yours because the mind has never been trained for it. All your life you have trained your mind to continuously chatter, non-stop. And suddenly one fine morning, if you ask the mind to stop its chatter, how can that habitual pattern be changed overnight? It's not possible. But there are many techniques, there are many ways, there are many methods and methodologies. Each of these techniques and technologies that you are talking about, they are all meant for one purpose in the spiritual world. And that is how you can purify your mind. Baba Loknath makes it absolutely clear. He says, pure mind is your own guru. Or rather, when your mind becomes pure, then your mind becomes your own guru. I repeat, when your mind is pure, then your mind becomes your own guru. That means Baba is indirectly saying, pure mind is equal to Guru, the God. So the ultimate, whoever may be seeking in the materialistic world or in the spiritual world or in the astral world or in the supernatural world, ultimately the purpose is to still the mind. And stillness of mind comes only when the mind is cleansed, is purified, is detoxified. Till the mind is purged of its materialistic vibrations of desires and demands and attachments and clinging, you can't expect the mind to subside to its substratum of quiet tranquility like the bed of an ocean. You can't expect it. It's not possible. Now the question is, how do I calm my mind? How do I take the mind to that calm, tranquil state? Yes, that's exactly what is being told in this small nugget of wisdom. And that is, breath becomes the simplest place to begin the inner journey. Now, in order to start and initiate my spiritual journey, in order to initiate my travel into the inner world where I can have a glimpse of something which I have not yet so far seen, so far experienced, then you must follow what the great yogis and rishis, seers and sages, what the great practitioners and the masters of those practices have done in any part of the world, and mostly in Bharat, in India, in the Himalayas, and in different parts of India. They have again and again researched to find out how to calm the mind. All the research of these great scientists of life, rishis are scientists of life. They just don't want to know some small tidbit things of the external manifested world as any scientist would do. They wanted to finally decode the ultimate source of everything that is manifested. And in that search, they found that breath is something. If you can somehow control your breath, master your breath, befriend your breath, then over a period of time you'll find that your breath alone will make your mind to calm down. That's the reason any meditation practice all over the world, you will get to hear this word. Follow your breath. Anywhere you'll find any practice of mindfulness, they'll start. Now, please sit down. Bring your mind to your breath. Excuse me. That is the reason it is written here. Breath becomes the simplest place to begin the inner journey. The yogis of India have practiced the simple technique of watching the breath in order to calm the mind for thousands of years. This is the book, the little book of meditation written by this person long time back in the early 2000. And these are musings that come to me in the morning. Thousands of years, for millennia. Indian yogis and rishis, they practice this path of sheer observation of their breath. That is purely watching the incoming and the outgoing breath. It is not easy, because the moment you take your mind to your breath, the mind will just run away. The mind will go to all other priorities, which are your priorities, your individualistic priorities. Whatever has been the things that you wanted to do, you want to do, and things finished, unfinished, things that has to be attended right away, all of it will crowd your mind. Breath will not be the priority at all. So as a result, yes, you will sit and you will try to bring your mind to your breathing in and out, in and out, in, and suddenly you find the mind is gone somewhere else. And you won't even know where the mind has gone. You won't even know that it has gone. You won't even know that the mind has already left the breath and gone into its own different domains where it has been all along. That's the reason. This is the training in attention. Until and unless you are able to garner attention, until and unless you are able to sharpen your attention, until and unless you are able to make your attention single pointed, you will not be able to penetrate this particular wall of matter that separates you from your true essential truth or nature or reality. It's like a solid block. Each one of us have this solid block. This is what individuality is all about. I am an individual, not universal. But a yogi in that state of highest consciousness is universal. That individuality is gone. A rishi is one who is a seer of truth. Not knower of truth, seer of truth. I hope you are able to understand these simple things that I am trying to share with you. Monica sounds so simple, but why can't I sustain it? I think you have the answer for it, I mean, it's not something that I need to answer you. It sounds very simple, but why can't I sustain it? You can't sustain it because you have two other things to which you have already given yourself. You have always been interested into many things in your life, in different stages of your life. Just look back. From your earliest childhood, From the time when you started having your own individual opinion, consciousness, from where you are able to remember, if you can just see through all these pages of your own life, you'll find that you had given your mind to million things in this world for only one thing. And what is that? You are a seeker. You are a searcher. You have been seeking and searching in the objective materialistic world. What you really wanted is not alpa, not small, but vast, infinite happiness. And you thought, if I have this, I'll have so much happiness. If I have that, I'll have so much happiness. If I have it, I am totally secured. If I have it, I'll have so much fun and joy and accomplishments. You had it. You had it. But you could not even sustain in that materialistic efforts and endeavors of your life. The purpose for which you have been doing it, the purpose was not a temporary happiness. The purpose for every materialistic effort, for example, even when you got married, for example, you got married because you wanted to be happy. You want a partner. You wanted to have somebody to whom you could just open your heart. You could have an emotional bonding. Someone who could be your life co-partner moving through all the ups and downs of life. Beautiful, conceptually lovely. But you know that it also came in its own price. But then you are not just happy to just have your husband if you're a female, or a wife if you are a male. After a while, you yet had something more to look forward in the materialistic world, and that is your natural urge to procreate, to continue your own, next generations, progeny. So you wanted to have your own kids, your own children, and you had your children. And then the dreams changed, the wishes and desires and demands, and your life, everything changed, and the mind got busy with all of that, taking over the kids and running to the schools and taking care of them from one place to the other. The mind was busy. But don't forget, each of these are all into your subconscious mind. Everything that you did from your earliest childhood till death are all jammed into your subconscious mind. Layers after layers and layers of debris. Now you're talking about sustaining peaceful, thoughtless state. Just ask yourself, is it logically correct? Monica Ma, is it logically correct? Do you really, can you hold on to this question longer? How? You can sustain your attention, you can sustain your focus into only that which is of utmost, what should I say, pleasure for you, happiness for you, interest for you, attraction for you. You are sitting with your body and you are sitting with your mind alone, and obviously this is a beautiful time for the mind to take the flights everywhere. And obviously the subconscious mind will be absolutely active, because now you are getting little by little relaxed, and the more relaxed you are, the subconscious mind will surface from the bottom line. So many things will come crowding your mental screen. Images after images, thoughts after thoughts. It's almost like a cinematic screen in which all these dramas will be played, that you were the central theme in which all these memories are embedded into your subconscious. They'll all surface because now you are relaxed. Subconscious will come to the surface. And you want to sustain what? Thoughtlessness. How can you have a thoughtless state when your subconscious is completely allowed to go random? Have patience, Monica Ma. Have patience. Patiently allow the subconscious to rise. Patiently allows the smoke to rise, because if there is a fire, the smoke will be there. Let the smoke come. Don't run away. Don't say that I cannot sustain my absolute focus. Just be an observer of what's happening in your mind. And the second thing is, if you are observing your breath, then again and again, just like a practitioner in a gym who is again and again training the muscles, not once but many times, to have a well-built muscled person, the same tone you give, the same. You want to focus on the breath, the mind goes. Bring the mind to the breath. Bring the mind to the breath. Bring the mind to the breath again and again and again, like the muscle building. So also that attention in your brain will, over a period of time, these muscles of the brain also will be toned and trained, and they'll be ready to serve you one day. I hope you get my point. The moment I sit for meditation, it feels wonderful, but afterwards, as time goes, again back to the pavilion, again new effort. But that is what is called practice. And you are talking about perfection. No, what is your goal? Practice or perfection? What is your goal? First make sure. What do you want? What do you want? You first decide. What do you want? Why are you sitting quiet? In order to put your attention to your divine, to yourself, to a mantra, to any of the things that you have decided to put your mind into. Why? Because of the simple reason, this is the only way to ultimately reach to a silent state of mind. Your practice today, tomorrow, day after, for years will take you to a state of perfection. I told you the other day, many of the sages and saints spent, in spite of their so much karmic reservoir of positive energy, with so much of tapas done in the previous births, with so much of penance they have done in their previous incarnations, and then they come as a yogi in this birth. And in a very early age, leaves home, leaves everything, goes to the Himalayas, goes to any part of the forests and jungles. There they sit and try to bring their mind to absolutely stillness. Even then they fail. And think about yourself. You are a householder. You are a person with having so many members of your own family looking up to you. In different roles you are playing to each one of them, to your husband, to your daughters, to everybody. You are playing so many roles every day. And all of it through your mind. And the mind with all its subconscious patterns of its own practices. How do you expect that after getting involved into this multiple role playing, still when you will sit, you don't need any practice, you are still, and your mind is pure, perfect and divine. Does it make sense? Just tell me, does it make sense? You should make up your mind only to understand one thing. Your practice is the journey. And the journey, if it has started, it will end. One who has taken the first step toward 1,000 miles, said, is one step less from the 1,000 miles. So your practice and practice and practice is all that. Abhyasa. This yoga is abhyasa yoga. You have to do the abhyasa. No, you don't look for the rewards. Karmanyeva adhikarasti ma phaleshu kadachana. You have right to the practice. To all of you I say, you have right to the practice of your meditation, but not the deepest state of meditation, which is the reward of it. Because reward is in the hand of the unseen, unknowable, the one and only non-dual reality. That is Brahman. That is pure consciousness. Same experience, every day new effort, every day failure, days are passing. Balaji Jai. Same experience. As if there has to be different experiences. because you belong to different lokas, different planes, different astral planes, as if you are all here. Same experience. So you wanted to have a different experience. How could you have different experience? You are using your mind for multiple activities, and then you ask, why can't I make my mind absolutely still into one activity of stillness? Look, if you are really sure, Balaje Jai, that means the time is passing. If it is true, when it comes to anybody's life, Balaje Jai, that means the time is gradually slipping off my hands. If it truly touches the core of anybody's life, all materialistic things by which your mind is filled with all these contaminated vibrations and making you feel disturbed and distracted and disturbed, you can be absolutely sure that yes, once you are ready for that, Balaje Jai means the time is now running out. Once you know the time is running out, you will wake up. You will wake up. You will not sleep anymore. For hours and hours, all the yogis of India, they practice meditation whole night. In the caves of the Himalaya, you go and you'll see that the greatest of the yogis are sitting in meditation day and night, just to still the mind. And you try for 10 minutes. You do your japa for 3 minutes. And you are expecting perfection, which they, in that Himalayan, beautiful, tranquil, beautiful space, even there they have to take years and years of practice, and you want it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes possibly. You dedicate to your japa or to your meditation or to your spiritual practice. And then you say, what's happening? Same experience. Same thing happens. I cannot sustain my attention with my Ishta and my Guru and my mantra. Why? Why I am not able to sustain it? My question is, why? You ask this question. Ask yourself deeply. Is it a justified question you are asking? Are you truly deserving the reward you are asking God to give you? Can you possibly preserve, if the grace in high wattage descends into your body, can you hold it? If your bulb is only having 100 watt, and if God sends 5,000 watts, can your bulb, do you think it will survive? It will burst. This practice, and failure and little practice and failure and little success and failure and little success. One day you'll find this 100 watt will gradually grow into 200 watts. More number of times you practice, your brain learns. More number of times you fail, you learn it's not working, so you try to do something else which will work. This is our life. Our life is essentially nothing. Again and again I wrote in my morning musings, our life is not one of mistakes and sins, it's one of pure learning. We are here to learn. We are here to practice. We are here to do it again and again and again. If you are failing means this is not working, I'll try something else. If this is not working, I'll try something, but I'll not give up. Once I know Balaji Jai, once I know the time is just running out and I must reach my destination of my pure state of beingness, then you can be rest assured. Adore your practice, love your practice, rejoice your practice, rejoice your journey. Appreciate yourself that you have done today half an hour. Your walk into the inner world of quiet. You failed, doesn't matter. Again tomorrow you will do for 40 minutes. After a week, you'll increase it to 50 minutes. After a month, you'll increase it to an hour. After a couple of months more, you'll increase it to 3 hours. But walking into the inner sanctum of your heart, where sits your Lord playing the flute? So it is a continual practice of observing the breath. I'll just finish up reading the first technique of watching the breath in order to calm the mind for thousands of years. Try it now and see how your mind becomes calm and quiet, how easily you become concentrated and focused. Try it now and you'll see how you become quiet. You can try it now. Just sit wherever you are. I know you are sitting, but make sure if you are sitting on any couch, chairs, sofas, it must be firm. It should not be very soft. It should be firm so that your spine is erect. I repeat, it should be firm so that your spine is erect. You see me, I am sitting in an erect posture where my spine is erect. So when my spine is erect, even if I am sitting on a chair, my both feet must be touching the ground and well grounded, so that you are grounded. Your back is resting on the back of the chair, so that your lumbar region is having enough rest, and at the same time the spine is erect, your whole body completely in a state of relaxation. Nothing like sitting on the floor. If you can manage to be on the floor, on a floor mat, your personal mat, it will be the best that you can think of. If you can sit on the floor, please, I will request all of you, start practicing more and more time to be on the floor rather than on the sofas and couches and places of your so-called comforts. Comforts are not always good for our health. At times, discomforts can gradually build the muscles and the bones to give us a sustainable, happy state of our wellness. Try to remember these words. So when you are ready, then you start to sit on the floor or sit on a chair or a couch. But make sure your both feet are not dangling but on the ground. And then you gradually close your eyes. You can leave both of your arms, both of your hands resting on the thighs, any part that feels comfortable, so that both of your shoulders are pulled little back and open, and just rest your hands on your thighs. You can do this particular mudra of Jnana or Dhyana mudra, where your thumb and the index finger, tips are touching each other to create a brain circuitry that directly brings our mind to a state of concentration and focus. The moment we do this mudra of Chin mudra or Dhyana mudra or Jnana mudra, the moment we do this, the brain gets an impulse. Instantly a message goes to the brain. It's time for concentration. It's time for meditation. It's time for attention and focus. So we just do this and place it anywhere that is comfortable, on the knees, on thighs, any part. But make sure your body is absolutely relaxed from head to the toes. For the next few seconds, we'll just do exactly what the small musing that I was reading out to you and trying to explain to you, what the yogis and rishis of India and rest of the world have done for thousands of years. This is a time-tested technique. This is a time-tested method by which you can gradually sustain the state of prolonged, quiet, silent state of your mind. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, please. And hold your breath and exhale. You can exhale through your nose or you can exhale through your mouth, but make sure It is deeper than your exhalation, longer than your exhalation. You have to exhale more than you can inhale. Again, take a deep breath, please. Fill your lung, fill your body completely. Hold your breath. And exhale. Take another breath. Fill your lungs, your whole body must vibrate with your breaths, and hold the breath for a few seconds. And exhale. Hold. And inhale. Now we can just relax. Regular breaths. Let the body breathe its natural breath rhythms. Now try to bring your mind to your breathing. Watch. When you are breathing in, you become conscious that you are breathing in. Bring the awareness to your nostrils to feel that you are breathing in. When you are breathing out, say, I know I am breathing out. When you are breathing in, you say, I know, now I'm breathing in. I'm conscious, I'm breathing in. I'm conscious, I'm breathing out. Now I'm consciously breathing in and consciously breathing out. As I breathe in, I feel a sense of calmness. As I breathe out, I feel a sense of release and relaxation. All my tensions are melting away with every outbound breath. In, I feel calm. Out, I feel released and relaxed. All my tensions and all my anxieties are melting away. As I allow the out breath, carrying all the toxins of my body and mind and emotions. What a beautiful state of feeling. As I breathe in the calmness and the beauty of this universe and the positive energy, and as I breathe out all the toxins, all the past memories of pain and agonies melting away with my out breaths. Make sure there's a smile in your face, as if you're smiling to your inner self, as if you're smiling to your God, to your deity, to your Guru, to your divine self, as if you're smiling to the universe, which is a mirror. Will smile back to you, blessing you, healing you. Now gradually become conscious of your body, both of your feet on the ground, and gradually you can move a little bit of your body all over to become conscious to the physical level. and express your gratitude to everything in this Mother Nature, all the elements, and send forth positive vibrations of healing to every sentient beings on this universe. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, may all be happy. Sarve santu niramaya, may all be healthy in body and mind. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, may we only see the divine and good in each other. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavid, may nobody feels any misery or suffering or afflictions in this world. May all be happy. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. May peace prevail on earth and in the heavens and beyond. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being in this beautiful journey. And I only pray to God that you sustain it through your non-attachment to rewards and your deeper commitment to your practice. Om Shanti. Shuchit, before I close, there's a question. I could have finished it now, but what is better to do, Shuchit Goel? Keep reciting a mantra like I am, or keeping our attention on the self? For today, we were just focusing on very fundamental, at a very preliminary state of quietening our mind, because we all know our challenge is basically how we bring our mind to a state of thoughtlessness. So one of the simplest things that the yogis of our land have prescribed for one and all sannyasins and grahasthis, family people and all of us, is to bring our mind to our breath. So today, Shuchit Goel, it is for all of us to basically practice the step one, to feel our body and to feel our breaths and to bring our breaths and body together. This is a beautiful union. This is a beautiful yoga of mind and breath. This is the fundamental state by which you'll feel an instant sense of relaxation. And please take it from me, only in a relaxed state of body and mind, the higher wisdom of I amness, that consciousness, it just simply percolates through every cell of our body, through every neurons of our brain, and gradually prepares our body, our mind, and the whole system that God has gifted us toward higher light of true enlightenment. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.